Ladies and gentlemen, do I have a treat for you. This is the Snowspeeder all the way back from 1999. I acquired this set through a lot that I got for all those 1999 sets, and this one is one of my favorites. This is set 7130. It's called the Snowspeeder. It includes 215 pieces, 3 minifigures, and 2 builds. It released February 22nd, 1999, and originally retailed for $20. In today's money, if you want it in box, it's going to cost about $135, which I think is insane for this set, and $40 used. And I managed to get this for like $30, $35. Let's get into the minifigures. The first minifigure up here is our OG, the boy, Luke Skywalker, in his pilot outfit. Luke Skywalker was actually the most released figure back in 1999 for good reasons. But if you want this pilot version new, he's going to be about $10. And if you want him used, he's going to be about $4. Comparing him to his modern day counterpart, yeah, it's not even close. The newer Luke just looks incredible. The only thing that's missing is his arm printing, and that only came in one set, but that's for another day. Other than that, you can see the helmets kind of have the same, like, idea. The other one is just so much more print on it, and it's just so much better. And this one is just bland. I don't know if that's something with my error or with my figure or something, but there's like a weird gray spot right there. I don't know what it is. Anyways, the main idea is that the newer Luke is better. But this is 1999, so you can't expect much. Into our next figure, we actually have Dak Rattler. And yeah, for some reason this figure is $7 new and $4 used, but uses the same legs and body as the Luke Skywalker. Uses that classic smiling face, and then his helmet only has the 2 blue printing on it. Of course, there's no secondary printing on the head, but this figure shouldn't even be worth $7. I don't know. The fact that this is even named is incredible, and he doesn't even have a custom head like the Hoth Trooper or Luke Skywalker, and he's a named character. I don't know, it's just bizarre to me, but there he is, Dak Rattler. Lastly, we have the Hoth Rebel, who is $15 new and $9 used. Why he's the most expensive in this set? Well, it's because he's the most unique. He comes with binoculars and a big gun. He's got gray legs with the white undies, if you want to say. He's got a nice printed Rebel coat. He's got a backpack. Of course, under that backpack, there's no printing. So, yeah. This weird piece that comes down over his face is actually supposed to be his hair. When I always saw this figure, I always thought it was like a tattoo or blood or something, but it's hair. And another thing is he's not gonna have another printing side on his face, but his visor is this brownish color. Why it's brown, I couldn't tell you, but he's a nice looking figure. He's all decked out with all this gear. He looks good. Yeah, there's nothing else to say about him. Moving on to our first side build is we're gonna have this radar dish that is just on snow, and it's just meant to be a side piece. It moves up and down and turns all around, and that's it. It goes all the way down on the front, but because of the lip in the back right here that angles down, it won't be able to go all the way down in front. As you can see, it hits, but turn it around, it'll go down here, here, and here. It's made for kids, so there's no point to this besides a side build that kids could play with and pretend to blow up. The thing about this is it's really fragile. Like, it's only sat on by this piece connected to this back gray piece, so it's really fragile. This thing right here, the actual antenna, likes to fall off a lot. And it's just made of like a couple of pieces. Like there's nothing cool about it. You could probably make this with the pieces you have at home. I don't know. It's fun, I guess. I think that's what the point of it is. Moving on to the big boy himself, we have the actual snow speeder. Now, one thing I want to point out is that this big tan piece, like these tan pieces, I don't know why they didn't make them gray or at the least white. I don't know why, because they definitely had these in gray, so I just don't know why they didn't make them gray. I don't know. You can barely see it, but it is noticeable when you're looking on the underside. Anyways, let's get into the main features. Starting up front, you're gonna have this nice printed tile with the orange greebling and all of that, and those printed pieces that they used back then. And if we get Luke Skywalker here, we can take him, and all you have to do is lift up this front cockpit. Now this piece is actually very fragile, as you can see. It's just held on by that, and there's nothing holding it down. So a lot of times when lifting this up, you have to hold this back piece down. But inside, there's going to be a nice printed piece with the AT-AT on it, and it just, yeah, that's really all that's in there. Other than that, you're just going to take your Luke Skywalker, put him into the seated position. And back then, you had to lift their arms a lot up because they wouldn't fit. Otherwise, you just lean him back, put his arms down, close the cockpit, and now he's in there ready to go. Moving back, we have this piece, which is actually removable, and all you have to do is just pull up on that black piece and it comes out. Now, in the instructions, this piece is actually used to, if you take Luke's lightsaber apart, you just set it in there like this, and then you just plop it down in there and it fits nice and snug. So when Luke needs his lightsaber, you just pull it out. One thing that's sad is that they didn't include a spot for the actual blade, and so a lot of the times I'll just put it at the end of this guy's gun to make it look like he's shooting it. Otherwise, there's just not a good spot for it. Moving back, there's these flaps that open up, and they have a nice printed piece with the Rebel logo on it and some nice details. Lego doesn't print pieces anymore. I'm joking, but it's almost like they don't. These wing pieces are just connected by these hinges, and actually these pieces are what stops it from going any further, so it sits at that nice perfect angle. Otherwise, if you wanted to have it up like this, I don't know why you'd want that. I guess it kind of looks cool. Next up, we have the back, where if you just like lift this up, we're gonna have that same printed piece in there of the AT-AT, but it's just a nice and tight spot for our boy Dak here to sit in the back. And you just put Dak right there in the back, lean him back, and you close it up, and he sits in there nice and snug. Now the gun does get in the way, or the winch, I think it is, in the movie. You're gonna have these nice blasters on the front, and other than that, it's just some nice detailing to make it look good. One thing I'd like to note about this is that the set it's chunky, like it's just a brick. And I know that the snow speeder, it captures the snow speeder pretty well, and I'm pretty sure this is as accurate as it gets for the snow speeder, especially in 1999. Obviously, they add better pieces and get better things to make it look better, but that's the snow speeder. And this, in my opinion, this is actually the best set so far that I've reviewed, besides the Vulture Droid, or my bad, as it was called back then, the Droid Fighter. I just think it's a great modeled ship that actually does well. And that piece, you can see this piece right here, isn't gonna actually fall out when like going upside down and that stuff. unless you like forcefully take it out. But other than that, it's just a nice set. And they didn't actually have battle packs or any of that back then, so you only got this. So there was no stormtroopers to fight against. But I think back then, this is all you would have needed to just play with it. That's about it to it. The only thing I wish is that there was a spot for Luke's lightsaber. And I did try putting it in the cockpit, and I don't think it fits all that great. As you can, oh, it does. Never mind, I guess it does fit. I guess I just had it at a weird angle. Anyways, the set's okay. It's probably the best one I've reviewed so far. It feels sturdy. It feels like it's the most put together one and won't break or do any of that fun stuff. Other than that, it's just a playset from 1999. There's no crazy play features like an exploding tower or anything crazy like stud shooters or anything. It's just the snowspeeder. Yep, that's it for the review. On to looking at the instructions and just talking about other stuff. This is the instructions. As you can see, it's pretty basic. All 1999 sets looked like this, and as I just scroll through it, you can see the little pictures of like the scenes going through it. It's pretty typical, and just, yeah, it's what you expect from the instructions. And I mean, there's not much to say about it. There you can see the alternate builds and just what you could, like, what other builds you can make with this. There's Luke's lightsaber. There's where you actually put the lightsaber into the thing. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.